Good morning, everyone. This is Gail Dudley with your news in motion. Today is Wednesday, August the 26th, 2020. Can you believe we are almost through the month of August? So today again is Wednesday, August the 26th, 2020. So let's get started. Good morning, Brenda Random, and let's get started. There's a lot to cover in my recap from last night. There's a lot to cover, and I'm going to do my best to get through as much as possible. What I'm unable to get through, I'll just post it on my page or post it in the comments of this thread. So we had night 2 last night. And before I even get into night 2, good morning, Latrice Jones. Good morning, Deborah. Before I get into night 2, y'all, let me just take a few moments. I know I broke down on you yesterday. Y'all, at least y'all know I'm passionate and I'm all the way in. Jacob Blake, I just want to call his name this morning. And I'm reading a quote out of USA Today. The 29-year-old black man who was shot several times by police in Wisconsin. He is now paralyzed. Good morning, Patricia. He's now paralyzed. Family attorney Benjamin Crump said Tuesday. During the press conference. Jacob Blake is currently, at that point yesterday, was currently undergoing another surgery and is struggling to sustain his life. And this is all from the press conference yesterday. I looked this morning to see if there was any updated information on Jacob Blake. I didn't see anything except for that second surgery. Good morning, Beverly. Good morning, Pastor Alex. So y'all, let's just continue to pray for Jacob Blake and his family and friends, but especially those little boys that were in the back seat of their car. Let's please pray for them. Good morning to my biological brother, Louis Breyer. So let's keep praying for them. Okay, as y'all remember, I started reporting. When I started News in Motion, I was giving you a recap of news and politics and dealing with justice. And when we got into what I believe was a voting season, I started giving you the argument as to why we must vote. And I'm going to continue that argument. So many people were asking, I was going through scrolling yesterday, people were saying, what's the Hatch Act? What's the Hatch Act? And I thought about it last night. Y'all didn't go to sleep till 2 o'clock. So if y'all see it in my face, you see it in my face. Because I was really digging, wanting to bring you information. I'm going to give you a slight recap of last night, but I'm going to also give you information. I'm starting to believe, y'all probably hear it in my voice too. I'm just exhausted. I'm starting to believe that some people don't understand the process of voting, and they don't understand why they vote. So something like a Hatch Act, and it was trending on all social media, and people were saying, well, what is that? What is the Hatch Act? I was watching, and it wasn't any one particular age group. It was several age groups. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. If I don't catch you, please forgive me, but I want to get through this. But good morning to everyone. So I wrote down what the Hatch Act is. So give me a moment to read through this. The Hatch Act restricts federal employee participation in certain partisan political activities. The political activity restrictions apply during the entire time of the employee's federal service. Certain rules prohibit both on-duty and off-duty conduct. Partisan political activities are those activities directed at the success or failure of a political party, candidate for partisan political office, or partisan political group. Excuse me. While most federal employees are permitted to take an active part in partisan political management and partisan political campaigns, the Hatch Act does prohibit certain participation by all federal employees. Federal employees may not seek public office in partisan elections, use their official title or authority when engaging in political activity, solicit or receive contributions for partisan political candidates or groups, and engage in political activity while on duty. Okay, and I know you just heard me say that, but listen, good morning, Nicole. Listen, read it for yourself. You can go to www.fda.gov. Somebody put that in there, and please make sure you put the www.fda.gov. So why were people hashtagging the Hatch Act? So I'm going to put it this way to all of us. We paid for last night. We paid for the entire last night. Why? Because it was on federal property. So if anybody gave their speech from home, let me clarify that. If anybody gave their speech from their real home, not calling the place a home, but their real home, they're exempt. Everyone else, we paid for last night. We paid for that. And I don't know about you, but I ain't happy about it. That's not how I would choose to spend my money. I'm not happy about that. We paid for that. We paid for the I don't know if it would be Air Force 2 or 3 for Pompeo, to be in Jerusalem to the Middle East. We paid for that. We paid for his hotel the night before and the night of. We paid for all of his food. We paid for all the people working on his makeup. If you saw some of the behind the scenes, we paid for all the lighting. We paid for all the report. We paid for all of that. And that is against the Hatch Act. The Hatch Act is put in place so that we wouldn't do that. So any money that was raised, actually since Monday night, they're raising it on our dime. So y'all understand this. So I started thinking last night, I said, some of us don't understand voting. And if we understood voting, and if we understood the connecting the dots, and if we understood what it is that we are participating in, we would be like, oh, heck no. I almost cussed y'all. We'd be like, oh, heck no, we're not doing that. And we would register to vote and we would vote. But we have to understand, and I'm beginning to think we're missing an educational piece here to let people know. I think, and I'm guilty too, register to vote, register to vote, register to vote. I keep saying that. But now, after last night, I said, you know what? Watching these threads, I was like, people have no idea what the Hatch Act is. Most people don't know that. And I said, so we're missing an educational piece to educate the people as to what's going on. Now, here's something else. Talking about voting, y'all know I've been saying this from day one. We cannot just focus on the highest office. We also have to focus on the other offices as well. Which means today, oh yeah, I didn't vote for him, but Troy Balderson in Lewis Center in Delaware County, he getting an email from me and a phone call. And the email and the phone call will specifically say, what are you going to do about this? Because that's illegal. That is illegal. You are using federal property. That is illegal. Who's going to pay for this? What are you going to do about this? Y'all, we have to hold our elected officials accountable. Now, I did see that Representative Castro, and I have a note in here somewhere, but Representative Castro has opened up an investigation. He's like, no, that's not cool. And he is a Democrat. I think he's from Texas. I'm not for sure. And I do have my notes, but I'll look at that. But those are some of the questions we have to be asking. Good morning, Annette. Those are some of the questions we have to be asking. So y'all look up the Hatch Act for yourself. We paid for last night. We actually paid for the night before. And it looks like we're going to be paying for the next 2 nights as well. And that's not what they're supposed to raise their own money to put on their own convention. This is considered a political activity as a candidate. He is the president, but he's also the candidate for the upcoming election. Y'all, if we would understand that, I think we would begin to see a difference. So moving on, before it kicked off last night, Republicans pulled a speaker because of some craziness on Twitter. That was Mary Ann Mendoza. She was the anti-immigration activist. So you want to check her out. She had all kinds of stuff on there, just all kinds of stuff on there. Then we had Abby Johnson, as reported in several news sources. She's the one that had the biracial son, and she's the one that has the biracial son that talked about that he will probably get arrested and he'll probably get into trouble. It was just crazy. We need to all go call Children's Services and make sure her son is where he needs to be safely. Now, and y'all, I'm not pulling any punches this morning. I'm actually pissed off, and I did say pissed. I'm actually pissed off. First of all, you used my money for some stuff that I did not approve. Number one. Number two, you did it illegally because of the Hatch Act. Number three, ain't none of y'all talked about Jacob Blake, who was shot 7 times in the back while breaking up another fight, and his son's in the backseat of the car. We ain't talk about that. And now we're going to have people talking about their biracial child. I'm over it. I am absolutely over it. Then we had, now hear me, and I want y'all to hear me when I say this. And yes, y'all know I get passionate, so I get excited. We have John Ponder. You know, I say kudos to him. I say kudos that you got your life together. Kudos that you have what looks to be an amazing prisoner reentry program. Great for you. I am absolutely proud of the man. But here's what else I didn't pay for. I didn't pay for you to get pardoned at the White House. And it's not your fault, John Ponder. It's the fault of the occupant of the Oval. This was propaganda, y'all, last night. This was propaganda. This was on my dime. This is on your dime. And that is not right. And then on top of that, y'all can hate me if you want to, but I'm going there. You couldn't find a white criminal to pardon? You got a white man saving a black man. Y'all, yes, I have a problem with it. Yeah, I do. I'm being completely, and I know what I'm doing right now is probably not professional if I'm trying to be a reporter and giving this, and I'm not trying, I am a reporter, and giving y'all this information. But I decided, no. If I'm going to give the truth, I'm going to give the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to hide it. I don't have nobody paying me. So I'm going to give it to you like I'm going to give it to you. I had a problem with that. Yes, the mere tokenism. I had a problem with that. Again, I am glad you're pardoned. I am glad that you have this, what looks to be a very amazing prisoner reentry program, because I looked it up. I went on the website, checked it out. It looks phenomenal. But that last night, that was propaganda. That was propaganda. I mean, they're doing this stuff in our faces, y'all. Then you had Senator Rand Paul. And I said, okay, I'm going to go to Fact Check Central all night. His statement was misleading. It was 93% misleading. So that whole thing goes out. Then you had the Minnesota dairy farmer who was talking about the economy is roaring back and only one person deserves the credit. What? And she was talking about, and I'm using his name this week, Donald Trump. Then there was that video again about our black kids are stuck in failing schools. And this continued to be the thing for 2 nights. So let me say this to you, and I'm going to use Quan Howell words for a moment. Dear black people, let's start taking responsibility of our own. And I hate to go there, but that's actually where I'm at right now. And hear me, and I know I have nieces that are Caucasian. I have family who are white people. I have family, blood relatives. I have family. I do. And my thing is, but I still like, okay, what do we do? I cannot forget Derek Pryor wrote in Ready publication, I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago, about how we can do this, how we can have our own school system, how we can make sure our children are being taken care of. And by the way, they're not stuck in a horrible school system. No, we need to hold, again, even our Board of Education officials accountable. We need to hold them accountable. And then, by the way, Joe Biden never said he's going to increase taxes on everybody. That's a false statement. Then we had Larry Kudlow. He's the director of National Economic Council. He goes, the president swiftly, successfully, and was very effective for the COVID-19 virus. Where has he been the past 6 months? Because he hasn't been. Then he said there's a housing boom, an auto boom, a manufacturing boom, a consumer spending boom. Y'all out there spending money? I just want to know for myself, because I surely haven't been out there spending money. That is all false, and they fact-checked his behind. There is no boom. Here's the truth. Here's the truth if you want the truth. More than 1 million have filed for U.S. jobless claims last week. Today is only Wednesday. 80,000, more than 80,000 small businesses have closed. That was from July. 80,000. 30 plus million people are out of jobs. And we still don't know if they've been evicted. And by the way, since they're out of jobs, they also don't have health insurance. Hello, somebody. So Larry Kudlow, you go find yourself a new party to play in the sand with, because we ain't buying it. We're not buying it. Then you had Sissy Graham Lynch, the goddaughter of Billy Graham. She says, we have the free exercise of religion, which I believe that, living out our faith in our daily lives, even in public squares. Well, I've been living out my faith in my daily life. It's a lifestyle for me. It's not just on Sunday. It's an everyday lifestyle for me. I have no problem praying with people in public. No one told me I couldn't do that. So I don't know where this narrative is coming from with this group of people. Then voices of faith are always welcome, not silenced. Now that would be a lie. Because remember, he's the one that tried to do that ban of immigrants coming over. He's the one, I'm talking about the occupant of the Oval. He's the one that was like, oh no, we ain't letting anybody else come over here. He was one. Hold on, I got more stuff to tell y'all. And then then here's the fact check. Religious freedom. This president was trying to ban people to express religious freedom and still trying. Remember, they went to court and he lost. As Rachel Maddow pointed out last night, she kept talking about abortion drugs. This was Sissy, or Chrissy, whatever her name is. Sissy, excuse me. She's talking about birth control and contraception. She's saying that's abortion. They looked up her whole quote, looked it up, and it was tied to contraception. That's not abortion, y'all. Contraception, that's people's right to choose. And wherever you stand on that, I'm just giving you the facts of that. And then now, note y'all, the other granddaughter says differently. The other granddaughter says, I'm not buying it. Her name is Jerusa DeFord. She's also a contributing writer for several newspapers. She wrote in USA Today, and I'll post that link later so y'all can see it. Then we had, of course, the student who sued news outlets with the confrontation with the Native American activists. Now we got Pam Bondi, former Florida Attorney General. She says she has fought for corruption from pinstripe suits to orange jumpsuits. And then she went on about this thing about Hunter Biden. Well, here's my question. What about all the Trump children that are working? And what about Eric Trump that was over in the Ukraine? Aren't they being paid? And talk about China. Now, y'all remember, before this whole trade stuff and all this stuff broke down, Ivanka Trump had 38 trademarks passed before all this stuff happened. 38. And don't forget, she has a trademark for voting machines. Y'all can look it up. Don't take my word for it. Yeah. Florida has them. Georgia has them for this upcoming election with her name on it. Let's talk about that. And then not only that, let's talk about the $1.75 billion for an FBI headquarters that was slipped into a bill. That's just maybe within a block of Trump Hotel. What about the happening with the White House and the RNC? What about that corruption? What about Pompeo speaking from Jerusalem? What about that corruption? Fact check. This is the woman, Pam Bondi. This is the woman who would not go after Trump for Trump University. Then the moment she did not go after him, he wrote her a check for $25,000, which he had to, where she had to give it back. Why? Because it came from the Trump Charity Foundation. Yeah. Let's talk about corruption, y'all. Let's talk about the corruption. Tiffany Trump was very nice last night. She was. So I just wanted to give her name. Then, y'all, we had the candidates for naturalization ceremony. We had that. Again, I'm glad those 5 people have citizenship. I am so glad. Hear me. I am glad they have citizenship. With that being said, there are military people saying that the two soldiers who opened the door for him while the trumpets were playing, that was completely illegal to what they can and cannot do. Again, we paid for that. Again, I'm happy that they have citizenship and they are now citizens of the United States of America. I am. But that too was propaganda. Follow me. Just keep following me, y'all. Keep following me. On March the 18th, 2020, due to the coronavirus pandemic, the USCIS stopped doing the interviews and ceremonies. According to a study by Boundless Immigration, a technology company that helps immigrants obtain green cards and citizenships, Trump signed into law and delayed over 100,000 future Americans, now leaving them in limbo. These citizens would all be able to vote in the November 3rd election, yet he will not move the process forward, so they're being denied until the coronavirus is under control. They're saying they cannot do this by Zoom. Okay, then why'd you choose just 5 for a photo op? Yeah, y'all, I'm hot this morning. I am hot this morning. That happened. Over 100,000 are in limbo, waiting for citizenship, which they shut down, he denied, and they went out and chose 5. Let that sink in. See, we only see what we see. We always now know with this particular administration, we got to look behind the door and see what's happening. Actually, with any administration, because I believe all of them got some form of corruption. But this one is just blatant and in your face. Then we had Eric Trump. Y'all, I'm wrapping up. We have Eric Trump. He goes, many, and I thought this was crazy, and this was a direct quote. Many don't want one nation under God. Your thoughts and opinions are censored. Joe Biden has never signed the front of a check. Well, actually, that stimulus check that he put his name on was also illegal. Hatch Act, that's in there too, y'all. That's in there too. And then he kept talking about Biden is going to defund the police. Y'all, that is a false statement. And I feel like I'm preaching to the choir. I feel like y'all already know. But we need to be armed with the information to go out. Now, here's the truth, Eric Trump. You about to go to prison. Because the New York AG is looking for you. Right about now. The New York AG seeks court order to compel Eric Trump's testimony. Now, he, as of even yesterday, is asserting the Fifth Amendment right. Now, wasn't it interesting? Because it didn't fit in his speech where he started talking about, Dad, I love you. Dad, I miss working with you. Yeah, that I thought was very odd. I said, that's a cry for help. He's saying, Dad, will you help me? Dad, will you send your attorneys to come help me? Dad, you see I'm in trouble. Can you come help me? And his dad's probably saying, no, not right now. No, I can't help you right now. He's probably saying, I don't even know him. I don't know him. Those are his words. Okay, y'all. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. This is the first time a Secretary of State has ever did this for a convention. He's in the Middle East, of course, as I said earlier, on our dime. State Department employees are not to speak or engage in this type of event. Pompeo is currently touring the Middle East to promote ties with Israel and is scheduled to address the convention, which y'all heard that last night, in an undisclosed location in Jerusalem. And that was according to New York Times and Axios. He just was met with a lot of criticism, and it is Representative Castro, Democrat of Texas. He's the vice chair of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. He is calling an investigation into this. And then to wrap this up, we have First Lady Melania Trump. Now, let me just be honest. Her first several words, I was very impressed. She's the first person out of that Trump family to even share condolences and her sympathy for more than 170,000 people who have lost their lives to coronavirus. I give her all the credit for that. I thank her for that. I say kudos to that. She was very passionate, and I believe every word she said about that, without a doubt. So I do want to say thank you, and she did say that yesterday. Then she went on, though. She lost me. She said, take a moment and pause and look at things from all perspectives. She starts talking about the protests, and she starts talking about racial injustice. She goes, stop the violence and looting being done in the name of justice. What? And then stop making assumptions. She said that. She goes, stop making assumptions. Then she said, reflect on your mistakes. What? Oh, by the way, when she started out, she did say 43rd president. I said, oh, so she married to Bush? I guess, I don't know. Then she says, look to our way forward. What way? Is that the Trump way? And then she says, we are one nation under God. Every person should be able to worship as they choose. Then she talked about social media, but she quickly passed that. And then she said, be best. Now, Joy Reid on MSNBC, because I was flipping, y'all know I flipped through like 7 to 8 stations at one time. Yeah, she did say 43rd. Then she kept saying 5 years. And I'm thinking, you only been there 3.5 years. But she kept saying that. And I was listening to her beyond her accent. So if you go on Twitter, everyone's talking about her talking about being married to the 43rd president. It's actually hilarious. Yeah. Joy Reid said, and Joy Reid looked like she was ready to break down and cry. She said, they have used the property of the American people. She goes, and it is offensive to me. She goes, it is very offensive. Many people were saying, imagine if Barack Obama would have done any of that. Yeah. All right, y'all, the coronavirus numbers in the U.S., we have 5,955,728 cases. Y'all know I go to the World Health Organization. I bypass the CDC. We have 182,404 deaths. We have 3,254,282 that have recovered. So let's celebrate that. All right, y'all, I'm in it again for tonight. Y'all killing me with this, but I'm going to stick with it. For the win. We have the win. We have for the win. We have the anti-Trump PAC. This is the Lincoln Project launching the Lincoln Women, led by prominent GOP women. And their videos are fire. So check those out. So they get the win. Also, can't think of his name, y'all. What's his name? The old attorney, the attorney that went to prison for Trump. What's his name, y'all? Y'all know him. Anyway, he comes out. He drops an ad today. He is dropping an ad today. He probably said, I'm out of prison for a few moments. I'm going to just cut it all up. He won his court battle to be able to be released again and supposed to be at home. So I don't know if the video's coming from home. I don't know. But he is dropping an ad today. He's also been confirmed. Yep, Michael Cohen. Thank you, Pat. Michael Cohen. He's also been confirmed that he is going to be, thanks for taking one for the team and watching it. Girl, Kenya, y'all owe me. All of y'all owe me. Y'all owe me lunch, dinner. Y'all can send the gift cards or send the cash app, whatever y'all need to do. Y'all owe me. Y'all owe me. All of y'all. But anyway, that ad will drop today from Michael Cohen. And then there is, he was also confirmed to, Rachel Maddow will be interviewing him. So we don't know the date yet, but he's coming out like, what? What's up? All right, people, listen, I need y'all to register to vote. Yeah, you can go to iwillvote.com. You can go to rockthevote.org. You can go to whenweallvote.org. You can go to vote.gov. You can go to vote.org. You can go to readypublication.com and click the Ready to Vote campaign icon. And I'm sure there are many, many more places where you can register to vote. Beyond registering to vote, there are over 500,000 poll workers needed across the United States of America. Y'all, you can go to EAC.gov. I'm trying to do this off the top of my head. EAC.gov. That stands for the Election Assistance Commission.gov. Y'all, please register. Here's what happens if they do not get enough poll workers. They will close polling locations. And you know they're going to do that in the marginalized, poor, and impoverished areas where people are not able to get to the polling locations. Y'all, you have to. Please, Y'all, to all of us, we need to take one for the team for that. If you do not have a pre-existing condition and you don't mind working the polls on November the 3rd, please do that. There is a stipend that's involved in that. Each state has a different stipend. There's also those who will pay for training, and then also that will do mileage reimbursement from your home to the polling location. The other thing, complete your census. You can go to 2020census.gov, 2020census.gov. Please complete that. Make sure your millennial children, nieces, nephews, cousins, neighborhood children, your adopted children, your pretend children, brothers, sisters, whoever, y'all make sure they're counted. Make sure if they're in an apartment, one person can complete it for the entire address. Get that done. Y'all, this determines federal funding. This determines the congressional landscape. Y'all, it's important. What's your plan to vote, y'all? What is your plan? What is your plan? Have you mapped out your plan to vote? Are you voting early? Are you getting an absentee ballot? Request that application immediately. If you're not going to request the application, then have your behind in somebody's line. Yeah, I'm like Michelle Obama. Pack you a lunch, pack you breakfast, bring you a chair, an umbrella, a sleeping bag, whatever it is you have to do. Thank you. Yeah, they did extend it to September 30th, which I was glad because the end of this month was concerning me. It was really concerning me. And that's what they said. We hope they really extend it to September 30th. All right, y'all. Y'all owe me. Y'all owe me. But I love hanging out with y'all. Okay, I got to go over to IGTV. They are getting sick of me coming over there late. But y'all, there's your recap. There's your recap. I'm prepared to do it again tonight. All right, my people will be upset with me if I do not say this, and I hate it, but I have to say it anyway. And they're right. They're really right. I just don't like asking for myself. But if this has been helpful to you, and if you want to see me to continue to report, and you want to see me continue to do research to bring you the truth, you can Cash App me. And that really does support my doing the research, which is the $ M as in Mary, I, M as in Mary, Today, TODAY. That stands for Ministry in Motion, because y'all know this is a ministry as well. So it stands for Ministry in Motion Today. You can do that. You can do PayPal, which is to ged@insight.rr.com, and I'll put that on there. And I think they set me up a Venmo account. Y'all, these millennials, I love them. They're on it. They don't play with me. They're like, Mama Gail, if I get on here one more time and you do not say to help you out, we're going to hurt you. And if you have a service, a business, or a product, and you want me, and you want to sponsor a segment, and I talk about it, we can do that here as well. I think that's it, y'all. I think that's it. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace out. I'm Gail Dudley. Until tomorrow with your News in Motion. Y'all have a great day.